and welcome. Today's yoga for Apres Ski. So after a full day on the mountain, skiing, snowboarding, whatever, this is a great way to cool down, stretch out, and be ready for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get started right off in downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, and bend and straighten one knee and then the other. Sway hips side to side. And then go ahead and find stillness here. Okay to have knees bent. Come into the ujjayi breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Settle hands and feet into the mat. And try to drag your hands and feet apart from each other to get really long and lengthen through the spine. And slowly make your way to high plank and lower all the way to the mat. Don't worry about Chaturanga Dandasana. You've done enough today. Come right into Sphinx pose. And in Sphinx, with elbows below shoulders, make fists with your hands and kind of drag the fists back. Notice how that draws your chest forward. And melt the chest here so it becomes kind of like a hammock between your two shoulders. Lower chin to chest. And kind of wiggle yourself forward again, lengthening through the spine that might have been compressed as you were skiing or snowboarding today, especially if you're going through some bumps and moguls. Nice. And then release forehead to the mat and extend the hands out in front of you. Come up onto your fingertips for kind of a cobra variation. Lengthen through the crown of the head and lift up, lift the inner elbows and the outer armpits away from the floor. And then exhale and lower. Slide hands a little closer in towards the shoulders. Lift the elbows now, lift the armpits, and come on up for a cobra on your fingertips. Take the throat back and exhale, lower. One more time, regular cobra this time. Hands in place by your lower ribs. Elevate the shoulders towards your ears and then come on up. Exhale and release. Tuck the toes, press up through all fours to downward facing dog once again. And then slowly walk to the front of your mat, coming to a standing forward fold. Fingertips to your mat. Release the head. Soft bend in the knees. Full round of breath here. Nice. Reach the hands behind you now. Bend the knees. Lift the chest as if you're a ski jumper. And then come on up to standing in Tadasana. Reach for your strap or like a strap substitute. It could be a dog leash, it could be your ski pole or a scarf. And take it about 3 feet apart, so a little wider than hip width or shoulder width rather. Reach the strap overhead. Draw the head of the arm bones back, but soften the lower rib cage down. And then from here, continue to draw the strap backwards. Wrists are straight. So getting an opening through the shoulders and the pec muscles. Take the throat back so you're not jutting your chin too far forward. And then stretch to the right and over to the left. Nice. And come back through center and release. Set the strap to the side. That felt good. Inhale and stretch the hands overhead. Look up to the thumbs. And then exhale and fold, bent knees. Inhale, slide hands to shins, halfway lift. And then exhale and fold again. Inhale, rise up, flat back, protect the lower back. Reach hands high. And exhale, palms to heart. Standing crescent. Inhale, reach the hands. With your right fingers, grab your left wrist and get tall, long through the spine. And then exhale and sway to the right, just like we did with the strap. getting a nice juicy stretch through the left side of the body. And then come back through center and switch it out. Inhale, stretch high, stretch tall, and exhale, sway to the left. Inhale, back through standing, and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands, step the left foot back, and lightly lower the left knee down to the mat. For Anjaneyasana, sweep the hands wide and up. Pause here and allow the hips to shift forward, so you don't have to be too upright. Yeah, get a nice stretch through the left hip flexor. And then lower both hands to the inside of the right foot. Toe heel the right foot out a clip or two. And I like to turn my right toes out. We're heading into lizard lunge. So option to stay up on the fingertips. And just like we did in Sphinx, draw the chest forward. Some of you may like to lower to your forearms or use a block. Bring the mat up to you. We won't be here for too long. You can either stay here in more of this restorative lizard pose or tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee to make it more active. One more full round of breath. And then lower the left knee if it's lifted. Come back up onto your fingertips. Bring the right foot back to center. Lift the left knee again so you're in a low lunge. Look forward. Try to draw the chest and torso off the right thigh. And then step the left foot to meet the right and fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift to reset. And then exhale, step the right foot back, lower left knee down to the mat. Inhale, stretch the hands up, Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, both hands to the inside of the left foot, toe heel the left foot out. And again, I kind of like to turn my left toes out a bit, about on an angle. And you can stay up on your fingertips for lizard lunge. Come down to the mat or grab a block or a block substitute. Option to tuck the right toes, lift the right knee for a more active pose. And then come on back to your low lunge. Hands frame the left foot, lift the right knee, look forward, and step the right foot to meet the left. Find that ski jump quality, arms reach behind, chest forward, and come to standing with a flat back. Nicely done. Nice and slow now, so no rush. We're gonna add in a couple more poses. Inhale, reach the hands high, and exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale and step one foot back and then the other, coming into high plank and lower all the way to the mat. Don't worry about chaturanga. Inhale, cobra pose. And exhale, stretch back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands and lower the left foot. So warrior one foot pattern, heel to heel alignment. And then come on up, Virabhadrasana 1. Stretch the hands up. And then exhale, lower hands to the mat. Shift the weight into the right forward to come into standing splits. Left leg lifts and right leg straightens. Option to bring one hand behind the standing leg, doesn't matter which, to draw you in a bit deeper, increasing the hamstring stretch here in the standing leg. Nice. And then soften the right knee, step the left foot back, and lower down to the left knee. You may want to pad by folding your mat over if you're on like a hardwood surface like me, or use a blanket. Inhale once again, Anjaneyasana. And this time take your hands behind your head and just allow your head to relax back into your hands. Curl into the upper back and A nice back bend here. And then release both hands to the mat. Stay up on your left fingertips. Bend the left knee. Reach back with the right hand. See if the foot's close by and come in for a quad stretch. And again, you may want to move that right foot out towards the edge of the mat. Externally rotate the right shoulder and the left. And then use your right hand to pull the left foot in to get the quad stretch. Nice. Without like slingshotting the foot, release it gently. Come back to your low lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. Whew, that felt great. I hope it did for you too. Next, inhale, step the left foot between the hands and lower the right heel down. Come on up, warrior one. Stretch the hands, stretch the arms. Inhale here. And then exhale, shift the weight to the left foot. Come right on into standing splits. If you'd like, take one hand behind the left calf or ankle to draw yourself in a bit deeper. Then soften the standing leg, step back with the right foot. Option to pad the mat here or bring a blanket in and lower to the right knee. Inhale, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Take hands behind your head and lean back. Nice. And then release both hands to the mat. Stay up on the right fingertips, bend the right knee, and reach back with the left hand. See if the foot's there and come in for the quad stretch. Release that. Step back, downward facing dog. Lower to your knees now, keeping your toes tucked under. Oh, actually, I like to also pull my mat back for this one and pad my knees again. Yeah, after a day of skiing, you want to take care of your knees, right? So we're up on our toes. And if this gets too much, of course, come on down. But I don't know about you, but after being in my ski boots all day, this feels really good. It's like a good and bad at the same time when I'm stretching my toes and also getting a stretch through the soles of the feet. Take your arms out wide now to a T and draw your right arm under your left to give yourself a little hug. You can stay here or take Gomukhasana arms, binding the forearms towards one another and placing palms towards each other. Nice. Let's not stay there too long because we have a second side. This time, left arm under, give yourself a hug, or take Gomukhasana arms. And then release. Take the mat out from underneath your ears and kind of roll out the toes a bit. Inhale to cow. Exhale, round into cat. From here, take the right knee behind the left. Separate the feet so they're as wide as the mat. And then sit down in that space you provided yourself for Gomukhasana. So left knee's stacking over right. You kind of nestle in, try to get close to both sits bones on the mat. And you may choose to keep fingertips behind you, lifting through the chest if you want a bit more opening in the chest. Or the other option would be to take the left arm underneath the right for Gomukhasana arms. So this is an outer hip stretch, mostly for the left side, but I also feel it on the right. We tend to put a lot of stress on our hips when we're skiing. So having a nice stretch afterwards will help sustain your your skiing and your activities. If your arms are bound, go ahead and release them and come back to all fours. Take a round of cow-cat if that feels good. And this time you'll cross the left knee behind the right. Once again, separate the feet and sit back. So the right knee is stacking over the left this time. Decide if you'll take hands behind you, lift through the chest. Stay here or take Gomukhasana arms, right arm under this time. Really nice. And then release and come back to all fours and to seated with legs out in front. We'll take cobbler's pose or Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees out wide. And I like to take my hands on either side of my hips, lift them, send them back an inch or two. So I create a little curve in my lumbar spine. That feels good. And it's healthy. And then take your thumbs to your insteps. Wrap your fingers around the tops of your feet. Draw your feet in towards the torso. And this is an opportunity to give yourself some like foot love. Your feet kind of carried you all day, and you can take your thumbs down from the heels, kind of massage through the insteps up to the big toes, and then back down again. Perfect. Take hands to knees now, close them up. Make sure you have enough space to lie down on your mat. And yep, you got to lie down. Let's do it. Oh, that feels good. Go ahead and take your arms out to a T now, knees up towards your chest, and lower both knees to the right for a supine twist. Aim the knees up towards your inner elbow, and you may need to bump your hips over to the left to keep that little curve, natural curve in the lower back. Go ahead and take your gaze out over the left shoulder and enjoy the twist. Inhale back through center, bump the hips over to the right, and lower both knees now to the left. Turn your head out over the right. Take a few deep breaths here. And come back through center. Readjust your hips so they're in the middle of your mat. Bring soles of the feet to the mat and cross the right foot over the left knee for supine figure four, or sometimes called thread the needle. So you reach between that triangle for the clasped fingers behind the left thigh and use the strength of your arms to draw the left knee in towards the chest. Right foot's flexed and active, but the left foot's just kind of dangly, or you can kind of take some ankle rolls with the left foot. Use your right elbow or right arm to press the right knee out, but don't force anything. This is another way to get a hip opener on the right side. Shoulders soften, jaw softens. Cooling it down. And then let go of the clasp of your hands and we'll switch it out. Right foot to the mat, left foot crosses over the right knee. Reach behind the right thigh for supine figure four. Left foot's active and the right foot's just kind of dangly. Starting to relax. Soften the belly. Notice if the shoulders are tense and try to direct some breath there. releasing any tension from the body. And from here, take both knees into your chest. Widen the knees shoulder width distance. So you have like a V with your upper legs. Big toes touch, and you're in a supine child's pose. Keep arching the lower back. And then yay, Shavasana. Stretch one leg long and then the other. Release arms by your sides, but away from your torso, palms face up. Allow the toes to just flop out to the side. Take one last mental scan here, from the crown of your head all the way to your toes. And direct the breath once again to any areas that you're holding on to. Just start to be aware of that. Soften around the edges. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our jaw, neck, and shoulders. And then allow gravity to just take over and melt into the mat. For a final couple of moments here in Shavasana. Begin to deepen the breath, coming back to the present moment. And draw one knee into the chest and then the other, and roll to one side. Press up to seated, eyes closed, into Sukhasana. Bring hands to heart, palms press in. Thank yourself for making it to your mat, for taking care of yourself, for sustaining yourself so you can enjoy another day out on the trails. Thanks you all so much for being here, and we'll see you again soon.